Phoenix Refueled, fanning the flames of your awakening. I'm Lindsay Evans.
I'm Ashley Nix.
We're here to talk about deep shit.
Real deep shit. What are we talking about today?
we're talking about, we've been ranting all day about aging in a culture and society that is anti-aging, about being okay with your natural body in a culture that is very
anti-natural body.
The anti-natural body. Oh, you want to come here, Bubba? Come here.
Come on, babies.
Come on, Oliver.
Oliver
Cameo
is...
appearance by Oliver the cat.
He is totally in his natural body and is food-driven and motivated. Me too, baby.
So, yeah, being in a body.
Being in a body.
It's coming up a lot lately with all the procedures, the cosmetics, the Botox, the filler, the implants, the removals, the Ozempics, the skincare, there's a lot. There's a lot out there.
I feel like as, born in the 80s, right, and then, raised 80s, 90s, early 80s, 90s, 2000s, like, the thought of, like, low-rise jeans coming back, I was like, dear God,
I'm not doing it again.
No, like, it didn't, like, absolutely, you can pry my high-rise out of my cold, dead hands, like, absolutely not. It does not look good on everyone. Not everyone is that thin. We survived the heroin chic craze, and it was bad. And then now here we are again, and I have a teenage daughter, and I'm like, oh, geez, babe,
we're not doing this.
We are not doing this again.
It's crazy because I do think it has. I mean, change is always incremental, but I do think it's gotten better. I do think there is general more body acceptance than there was like during the heroin chic 90s. You just could not. I mean, fat people are just not allowed to exist at all.
Right, it's a crime that you exist.
Yeah, it's like you just couldn't. And still, people are very shameful of bodies that don't fit like the standard beauty type. But I do feel like there has become more body acceptance of different size bodies, different facial compositions and features, but there's still so much of it. Like,
but what we were just talking about before we were filming, not at the same time.
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
And I've watched Empire Records with my child, and Reality Bites with her, and because the kids are super into the 90s right now, which is hysterical. But I had forgotten how much diversity we had in faces in Hollywood. I was like, oh yeah, not everyone had the same lips, the same chin, the same cheeks, the same nose, the same eyes, the same. I was like, you were talking about, I love a snaggletooth, is what you said. I love a nose.
Me too.
Like, you have a bold nose, sign me up. I love it.
Yes.
I want it to be big and like sharp and Greek, Roman. Like, it's so pretty to me.
Or even a little bit like my teeth.
Crooked.
My teeth are kind of yellow.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of yellow teeth. That's just normal teeth. It's just normal teeth. Everybody doesn't need chiclets.
Right.
We don't.
You don't know everybody needs veneers.
We don't all need veneers. I know it's weird that it like flip flopped. Now it's the inverse. Whereas I think it was really restrictive, physically weight wise in the 90s, and then we got a little more body positivity, and now it's not quite that's the beauty standard, is to be really real skinny, but before we had more diversity in the face, and now everybody's getting all the same cosmetic procedures done on the face. The eyebrows look the same, the eyes look the same, the blephs, the buccal fat, the whole everything.
But yeah, with the rise of Ozempic, I'm like, I don't know, there've been celebrities lately where I'm like, that's not like, look, you do you. However,
you don't need to be on it if you're trying to lose 5 pounds.
Or like 15 or 20.
It's being like abused. Unless you have
medical reasons,
extreme condition where it's medically necessary. Yeah. I mean, I do think it's a really good option for people who are thinking of gastric bypass or some sort of major surgery anyway, because they were clinically obese and it is a health issue. That I get, but you're right. We're just seeing it used by people who are already naturally thin and just need to lose 10 pounds.
There are people out there. I had a client of mine that had lupus, and it is there are ways that Ozempic is being used where there's research where it's having profound positive impact for other health conditions, even health conditions such as like addiction. Like it is the reason that it works is it's intercepting like your neurotransmitters. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it's intercepting your neurotransmitters and like the like pleasure reward center in your brain. So for like alcoholics, people that are addicted to like hard drugs, people, and then like lupus as well, it's like helping reset, and they're able to like go into remission with like lupus. So there are like there are things that it's positive for, but not everyone needs to be on it. And then I'm like, my concern, just like when the Atkins diet was super huge,
it's just not sustainable.
It's the moment you get off of it, you gain it back plus, or gain half of it back at least. It's like, because we're not making changes, sustainable changes, lifestyle changes, right? And so it's like, what are we? It's a quick Band-Aid. And
which goes back to the face thing, because I'm with you. I love watching movies from the 70s, 80s, and it's like, oh my God, pores. Oh, this person has such a singular, distinct face. Like, it's so nice to look at because nobody else looks like them. And now there's just a flattening of all the features. Everybody sort of blends into each other. But that just goes back to the Ozempic, and it's like, what are we really trying to get around is the fact that we're gonna get old. Like, we're not gonna get around the fact, you know what I mean? It's like, you need to be skinnier, you need to be this, your jaw needs to be sharper. It's like, you're going to age. It really doesn't matter what you weigh or what your cheeks look like, or, I mean, all of it's going, babe. That's the part that we need to get to that part, where there's some acceptance of the fact. Which, didn't we used to? What happened? Why are people not okay with people aging anymore?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I'm not really sure.
I don't want to watch a movie and see someone who's playing a grandmother who looks like she's 32.
Right.
My grandma didn't look like that. I don't even look like that. Like, my grandmother certainly didn't. What is? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we are so afraid of in this culture of aging. I mean, I know it's not just American culture.
I think there's a level of no longer being valuable and no longer being seen.
Yeah.
It's like with a society that really places its value on youth and on youth.
Yeah.
Right? And so...
Is it capitalism?
I mean, you tie everything back to capitalism.
It's always capitalism. It's always a patriarchy.
But yeah.
Kind of, right?
I mean, it helps you buy more, you do more. I mean, I was shocked in college when Dr. Wisely, little old woman with red hair, I think I told you about her. I loved her. She cussed like a sailor, and then she'd have to lube her tongue because she had some sort of, like, all she would tell us is that she was 65 plus. And I loved this little old lady with her dyed red hair, and then she'd have to pull out this tube and put it in her mouth because she had, at that point, some sort of saliva, something or other, and I thought she was hysterical. Smart as a whip.
She literally had to lube her tongue. I thought this was a euphemism.
No, she literally had to like put squirt stuff in her mouth because she wasn't producing saliva. So in order to get through a lecture, she had to like put stuff in her mouth to help.
This is a character.
She was this woman. I know that she can no longer. There's no way she's still living. But like, if you are her sons, I think she had 3 sons. Profound impact on my life. This one was amazing. But she talked about I lost my train of thought. ADHD and my brain like neurodivergence. Ooh, squirrel.
Was it something to do with aging?
We were talking about aging and value
and people being products and all of this having to do with wanting to buy something, needing to buy something.
We'll come back to it. She was a character. It'll come up again.
But don't you just love people like that? Like I maybe it's because I'm such a sucker for a good story, but I mean I think people are such story-making creatures. You kind of think in story, and I love somebody physically who's embodying just like a character where you're like, that is a singular person.
It came back.
Ah!
Thank you. And yes, because she was the one that taught me about like the pink tax.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what? And then I started comparing. I have already taught Kennedy. I was like, buy the male razors. Like, first of all, they're better.
They work better.
They're better.
Yeah.
And they're less expensive. I'm like, what the hell are we even doing? So for women in particular, I feel like it's we can keep them buying. Mm-hmm. Because there's this like standard of, and then the ball's always moving, or the target's always moving, right? It's like, oh well, now this is in, now that is in. So
well, women are the main consumers too.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. We do the majority of the shopping. We are the main consumers being targeted. So yeah, I guess that's true. If you're constantly in a state of not good enoughness, like, oh, I need to buy this to lose weight. I need to buy this to whiten my skin or whiten my teeth or do my eyebrows or dye my hair because it's gray, then yeah, then there's always a market because you never get to a point where you feel like, you know what, I'm actually pretty cool. I'm actually looking good. I like myself. Yeah.
I think the value and why we continually chase the target and the obsession with youth truly has to be with like being seen and like becoming like obsolete. Like still living and not mattering. I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like, what's my role? What do I matter?
Yeah, because there's not as much ritual anymore. Like we really suffer from a lack of ritual in most people's daily lives. You know, and that's for a lot of reasons. Society's changed a lot, and in a lot of ways for the better, and in some ways maybe not so much. And one of those ways I think is we lack a lot of ritual in our culture now, whereas there would have been a place for older people before. You know what I mean? And you're right now, you seem like kind of you're not needed, you're not
obsolete.
seen, you're obsolete.
Almost you become like a burden.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely that fear, it seems like, with women, and you know, we're just, you know, we're noticing it now, we're in our 40s, where it's like, oh, things are different, and you're seeing the signs of aging, and it you know, it is different. You move around the world differently, whereas a 20-year-old woman, you're getting a lot of attention. You're getting a lot of attention as a young woman.
Before that, though, like even 15, 16, 17.
I know.
Which is really gross, but it's true. 1000%.
Yeah. Yeah. So there can be that sense of like the world is changing. You're not as noticed. Which frankly, I like.
Well, I'm like, I think potentially our generation is starting to shift that narrative. I'm hoping a lot of the women I surround myself with, we are. It's like, no, there is inherent value in us, and there's almost I don't want to be seen by the population that views that as the target anymore. Like it's almost a relief.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for releasing me from that burden and that cage.
Yeah.
Now I can just be weird.
The pretty cage.
Yeah. Like, please let me just be weird. So I think it's who you surround yourself with as well. And whether or not like male gaze, male attention is like central to your worth, I think.
There is. I mean, I do think for our generation there was a huge importance, and there still is to some degree, but there is a huge importance to girls to be pretty. To be pretty, to look a certain way, to do certain things. Yeah, to be there sort of as a prop for everybody else, to make everybody else feel good just by showing up as a pretty girl.
Smiling.
Smile. Yeah.
Mhm.
There was a huge importance on that, and it is really nice to let go of that. But we were talking about earlier, like, it's funny because it was never my goal to just be sexy. Like, there's other things I want to do with my life than be sexy.
Truth.
But even being seen less in that way as you get older is such a gift. But there are a lot of sexy older people. You can still be sexy as hell at 50, 60, 70, forever.
Mhm.
Like, that is not off the table.
I think it's like marketing and consumerism versus reality.
Mm-hmm.
Because things that I view as sexy in my 20s versus my 30s versus now my 40s have evolved and changed and grown.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So I'm like, there's define sexy.
Right. And oddly enough, the thread that is through all of those decades, I think, is just somebody who really is physically embodied, somebody who's with themselves, who's confident, who's showing up like, this is me, this is what it is, I'm not apologizing for it, I'm comfortable in my own skin.
That's authenticity.
It's authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
That's always sexy.
That is so sexy.
Mm-hmm.
1000%.
Yeah.
It's, how do you walk into a room?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do that if when you walk into the room you're like, I'm too fat.
Mm-hmm.
I've got these lines around my mouth. I have these 11 lines. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm emotive.
I'm aging.
Expressive. Oh no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There really is a lot of, you have to just learn to let some of that go.
You know, there was, and this is coming up because when we were talking about older women, I was saying that, you know, like Sue, I love her hands. My grandmother, I love her hands. My mother, I loved her hands. There's something about women's hands that I find inherently beautiful, and particularly as we get older, right? And so Kennedy and I were talking about hands, and I said, I think you have your daddy's hands. And she looked at me and she goes, no, I don't. I have your hands. And then the more I looked, I was like, no, she does have my hands, and she loves my hands. Where I'm looking at my hands and I'm like, wow, we are like,
seeing the signs of
I'm
aging.
just like, well, there's like some wrinkles that are showing up. You can definitely see my veins. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of rough and tough and spots. But I'm like, no, these hands are so strong. I mean, they're meaty, but like in the best way. Like, I can hold you, right? I'm really great at massaging people's heads at the salon. Like, that's a thing. But Kennedy loves my hands the way that I loved my mother's, the way that I love Sue's, the way that I love my grandmother's. So, yeah.
I like that reframing of it. If you can do that with every part of your body, if you can get into that way of thinking when you slip into those moments of like, ugh, these thighs. Yeah, these thighs have you walking around in this world doing shit. Yeah, they're holding you up every day. Yeah, so is your ass, so is your stomach, you know. The flab under your arms is, those arms are moving through the world, lifting things, doing things for you. Yeah. It would be nice if we always had the capacity to reframe that functionality over form.
Well, I think it's a practice though. It's not a like, I can do it or I can't. It's a practice just like anything else, right? So inherently we're not born that way. You look at, when we talked about girls like prepubescent, say that word, prepubescent versus when they start puberty and the shift that happens in their confidence, right?
Yeah, it just
and
nosedives.
I shared with you, I was like fourth or fifth grade, the first time I was sitting crisscross applesauce, and I looked at the bend of my knee where my calf met my thigh, and I thought, wow, that looks like a whale's mouth. I'm like, I was 8 or 9. What do you mean? What do you mean? I was maybe 70 pounds. Maybe. I don't even know. I don't know how much a child that age
Yeah.
weighs, but like I was a child,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, how horrible is that that was my thought? And if I can't love myself now, then when? When am I going to appreciate the body that I'm in?
Ooh. Wait, let me read this quote to you guys. I have to grab my phone. Let me not put any of my... I got my wallet on my phone.
Oh.
Let me not put my stuff on the internet. I came across this quote because I was reading Communion by Bell Hooks, and she said in there, quote, females easily endorse a mind-body split that lets us cultivate the faulty assumption that we can hate our bodies and still be loving. And I just...
It stopped me in my tracks. Can you read it one more time? I mean, I know, but read it one more time.
She says, females easily endorse a mind-body split that lets us cultivate the faulty assumption that we can hate our bodies and still be loving.
How?
We can't.
I mean, you and I have talked about like it starts in here, right? And if I can't love me, how can I possibly love you?
You don't have room for it.
There's no way. You're not practicing it here.
Yep. I had to read that one a couple times too, because I was just like, yeah, that's true. The first loving relationship that you have to develop is with yourself, and you can't do that if you're constantly hating this vehicle that's moving you around in the world. This is the only vehicle you have to move you around in the world. This is the car that your consciousness is zooming around in, and if you're constantly hating yourself, how can you be loving?
You can't. And I think like been thinking a lot about our mothers and our grandmothers, and the sorrow that I feel for them in so many different ways.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, there's grief there for them. Because what do you mean you've tried to fit yourself into these little boxes for so long? And then of course you pass down stories and beliefs to your daughters and to your granddaughters of like not loving your body and not loving yourself, and make sure that you smile, and make sure that you do this, and make sure that you look this way, and make sure that you all of the various things. And it's like,
don't eat that,
oh my god, get skinny but not too skinny. I mean,
don't wear this, don't wear that, don't eat that,
story time. So my kid, as soon as her hair came in, very, very, very curly, and I'm someone that in the 90s curly hair was like, straight hair was what was it.
We were all straightening our hair.
Yeah, I mean,
my hair was fried.
Trying to. We didn't have straighteners yet.
No.
They didn't come out until I was in college. Are you kidding me? I remember when she came out with her first straightener, and I was like, white girls now have straighteners and straightening systems. Woohoo! Like, that's literally what I said to some of my friends in college, and they're like, you're funny. I was like, no, I'm being serious. Us white girls have not had that, and I needed it. Anyway, my curl pattern changed after I had her, and it relaxed a little bit. Hers super curly.
Yeah.
But in talking to my mother, my mom gave me some unsolicited advice and told me, she said, well, you should just put her hair in those pink foam rollers that I used to do with you. And I was like, I said, absolutely not. We are not doing that. And she's like, oh, well, I was like, thank you, but we're just going to let her hair be. I can still recall exactly what it feels like to sleep on a perm rolled head full of those pink foam rollers with plastic and like tight as can be, so that in Dallas I had a controlled curl, and they were all pretty little ringlets going the same way, because my hair was just too wild.
Yes, and never mind that it's as uncomfortable as hell.
Oh no, it did not matter what I felt about that. It was just like, no, your hair has to look good. To the point that my brother, when I got old enough, learned how to French braid hair so that he could braid my hair so that my mom and I would stop arguing in the morning. He was the one that taught me how to braid because he
Aw.
learned for himself how to braid my hair because we would fight over my hair in the morning. And then I have this baby who has wild, even curlier hair. Just let it be wild. But I had to go against my mother and what she thought was right. And she was doing the best she could at the time. It's what it was. But I was like, I'm not passing that on.
Yeah. Well, their generation, they had impossible standards to measure up to
For
be
sure.
women. Everything was wrong. You were either too much or not enough of
Or somehow both.
Yes, or somehow both of any category. Yeah, it was just impossible standards. And unfortunately, because of that, a lot of the people enforcing a lot of these physical expectations on how to look in the world have been the women in our lives, have been our mothers or our grandmothers. You know, I remember my grandmother coming up to me and making comments about what I was wearing, like, did you do that on purpose? Oh, you meant to look like that? And it's like, okay, thank you. Yep, I meant to look like that. Thank you so much.
Yes, I did.
But a lot of times it's the women in our lives that enforce those rigid standards because that's what happened to them. You're supposed to look a certain way as a young lady, or you were. Yeah.
I think for some you still are.
For some you still are. Yeah.
So how do we think? Oh, sweet Oliver. Hi, baby. How do we? In our last episode, we were talking about getting in our bodies, right? And it's like really difficult to be in your body if it's a body that you're at war with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because like, how can I listen to you and love you and hate you at the same time? So, do you have some steps?
Yes. Well, I like yours. I think we should say yours first.
Mine
Thank
first.
you.
Thank you. So another story time because I like to tell things through stories. My first year teaching, one of my dearest friends, still dearest friends, Jean, she's 12 years older than I am, and like I look up to her and I love her. A student had given me a compliment, and I went to undercut and or justify or discount or qualify whatever, and she grabbed my arm, which gave me pause. I stopped talking and then she said thank you to the student. She said thank you, and then she turned to me and she said thank you.
Yeah, Jean.
And I was like, thank you. And then later in private she said, just take the compliment. Just take the compliment. Period.
Love that.
It's not nice to it's not kind to them. They're trying to give you a compliment and you're dismissing. Thank you. Move on.
Yes.
And that's a difficult thing to do, and it's a practice. Because we really don't like women who feel good,
who own their beauty, who own their confidence.
Who are like, yes, I'm badass and I know it. Yes, I'm beautiful and I know it. Yes, I'm smart and I know it. No.
Yeah.
The tropes are,
you have to be humble, you have to be demure, diminishing, you have to take up less space. You have to be all those things, but you can't be aware that you're all those things.
give me a break.
It's for somebody else.
To appreciate and validate your
You're those
beauty.
things for some man to appreciate, not for you to appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole country song, she don't know she's beautiful. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Get out of here.
No, like, I've even started reading some of the books that I've read. I'm like, I'm so sick of, I'm like, what are you telling me? I'm like, this is like a women in STEM book. And yes, it's a romance book, but it's a women in STEM. How does she not know she's smart?
I know.
Like, I don't understand.
It's such a dumb trope. It's such
I
a
didn't
dumb
know
trope.
that I was pretty and I didn't know that I was smart. Bitch, yes you do.
Yeah.
You're at the top of your class. What do you mean?
You
are brilliant.
You didn't get there for no reason.
Just be like, no, I'm fucking smart, babe.
I know.
Thank you. Give me
It's infuriating.
that, please.
It's infuriating.
Yes.
So I love that. I love that because yes, and it's good on so many levels. She's right because we are trained to oh no, I had this, or yeah, oh thanks, I just downplay, deflect. Yeah, take the compliment. Somebody's trying to do something nice for you, and you're not allowing them this act of generosity to say, hey, this looks really nice, or you look beautiful, or I like that shirt on you. You're not allowing them that opportunity, and it is kind of rude if they're giving you a sincere compliment.
Mm-hmm.
And why aren't you allowed to feel that nice thing that they want to give you?
Mm-hmm.
Take it in.
And how many times do you look at different people in your life and admire something about them?
Yeah.
Like I tell people nice things all the time.
Me too.
That I'm like, I thought it was nice, it needs to come out of my mouth. There's enough ugly in the world. I'm gonna tell you, like, that color's really your color. Oh my God, you're sparkly. What's going on with you? Or like you know, those shoes are fantastic. Or like something. Like, just say the nice thing, and then if somebody says it to you, say thank you.
Say thank you.
Mm-hmm. And if you need to argue with yourself in your head later, that's fine, but get curious about why you're arguing with yourself and you just can't take the compliment.
Don't argue with me, because if I say your energy is infectious, it is.
It is. That's right. I love back at you.
Yeah. So I love that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good first step.
That's a good first step.
Mm-hmm.
And doing that practice of what we were talking about earlier, of just maybe reframing the negative self-talk. If you can catch it, if you can be mindful and aware when you're having that negative self-talk, like I've with the hands specifically, I've done that with the hands, because the hands are getting pretty veiny as I age, and I've just been like, oh my God. And it's like, yeah, these hands have done a lot. When I can catch it in that moment and go, these are the hands that held my child as a baby. I'm a maker. I make stuff all the time.
Yep.
Because these hands do that. Yeah, like,
they're beautiful.
How dare I say that to my hands? Yeah, this is the only pair of hands I'm getting. I'm glad they're there. I love all the things they can do. So reframing is really good. And the meta practice, you'll probably hear me say this if you ever watch any of these videos. Every video I will talk about meta practice, the practice of loving kindness meditation, but specifically in this case, one that Sharon Salzberg talked about, great meditation teacher Sharon Salzberg, talked about doing loving kindness meditation for the parts of her body that weren't her favorite parts, let's say.
Love this.
And this is a practice that I'm going to try and adopt this year.
Love this.
Yeah. Check in on me. Hold me accountable.
I got you.
I'm going to try and do this. But just sitting down and instead of, normally with meta practice, you're like wishing yourself well, wishing somebody that you love well, may you be well, may you be peaceful and at ease, may you be healthy, whatever words you choose. But doing it towards your varicose veins, towards your cellulite, visualizing the fat on your stomach and saying, may you be well, may you be happy, may you be healthy, just wishing loving thoughts to the parts of yourself that normally you criticize, to your wrinkles, to whatever it may be. And I just love that, because that really does reframe it, and then you're sending specific intentional energy to those parts to accept them, because those parts are there and it's fine. And I guarantee you, even if you don't love those parts of you, somebody does.
But you should too.
But you most of all, the most loving relationship you should have with anybody is with yourself. You're the relationship that's your longest.
To your dying, from your first breath till your dying day.
This is the vehicle you're in. Like, learn to love it.
I had shared this story with my child had walked in the room, and I was looking in the mirror and holding my stomach, and it's something that I've always struggled with. Thank you. Because it's but my grandmother, my dad's mom, likes to say, she's like, oh, you got the chumly belly. I've never had a flat tummy. Like, I just haven't. I just haven't. And so it's something I struggled with, and fast forward to my child being, 8 or so, and I'm standing and I'm in the mirror and I'm holding my stomach and I'm looking at my stomach and I'm not thinking positive things, and really sending a lot of like I fucking hate my body. Like I hate this part of my body so much. And then I catch her in the mirror looking at me, looking at my stomach. And I was like, oh shit, in that moment. And I'm like, I quickly reframed my thoughts and I said out loud to my child, I was like, sometimes I just like to rub her and love her and tell her that she's beautiful because she stretched with you while you were in my uterus, and she held you and she held us and she held all the tacos that I like to eat, and she's like, and I was like, and so sometimes I really just like to rub her and tell her thank you. And Kennedy was all, I love your belly too, Mom.
Aww.
And I was like, right. So it's like, that kind of stuff, your kids are watching you, and the
that
stories.
Was a big moment.
It was huge. And I still now, I'm like, there are moments that, if it's a practice, it's not perfect, but if I'm having a hard day or having hard thoughts, she's like, no, I like that, Mom. And I'm all like, you're right. No, that is a good part. And she's like, yeah. So really practicing, like, if you have a daughter, please be careful because you are teaching her how to love her body. And my God, if you don't love it now, when? I want her to always love her body.
Yeah.
And I want to always love mine.
I do too. Life is just too short. I mean, you don't know how long you have. And it's going to change. It's been changing the whole time. I look back at pictures of my teenage self, myself in my 20s, and it's like, I wish I would have appreciated the body that I was in at that time. I hope I can appreciate the body that I'm in now, because it will change again. It's going to that back to aging. It's all gonna end up on the floor, kids. It's all dropping. It's all gonna go.
But again, like women, and there are so many examples I can pull up in my mind of women that are in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and I'm like, they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Well, that's the thing. It changes, but it's not necessarily
ugly,
bad.
Right.
We have this idea that like you get wrinkles, oh that's bad. Like the face starts dropping, oh that's bad. The chest starts dropping, everything starts drooping, and that's bad. You're aging. It's just change. It's just change. You're beautiful in every iteration of your body if you can let it be so.
So accepting the compliment and saying thank you.
Say thank you for the compliments.
Notice when and why you want to resist them.
And give sincere compliments.
Yeah, for sure. To other people.
If it's
nice and kind.
If you can't do it for yourself, do it for other people.
Yep, absolutely.
And when they inevitably come back to you, say thank you.
Meditations for the parts of loving kindness for the parts of yourself that you struggle with.
Sit down, send loving energy to your cellulite and your stretch marks. Yeah.
People laugh in my chair in the salon. They're like, you grew your hair out. Your hair's so long. Is that all your hair? I'm like, yes. One of the things that I tell them, and they kind of laugh, and I laugh it off too, but I'm like, there was so many years that I did not appreciate my natural curl, which I know it's blown out right now, but I didn't appreciate my natural curl. Again, my child, I was like, I have to walk the walk for her to appreciate hers. And in the process of growing out my hair in a healthy way, I brush before I shower to, break it up. But I tell all of my clients, I'm like, I brush and I teach them appropriately. And then I'm like, while I'm doing that, I tell her, I'm like, I love you so much.
To your hair?
To my hair. It's like, I love you so much. You're so beautiful. Thank you for enduring all of those years of me being unkind to you. I promise I will continue. I will, from here on out, treat you with kindness and love. And I appreciate you. And I tell her, thank you and I love you. And just repeatedly as I'm brushing, and they're like, huh? And I'm like, that's how I grew my hair out. But it works when you start to love parts of your body.
All
They
the
like,
parts.
they start to heal on their own
Yeah.
because you're loving them.
Yeah. Well, if you could say loving, kind words to plants and have them live for weeks after they've been cut, or to do it to water and it changes the molecular structures in water, then why not?
We're made up primarily of water.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? I really think so. How you talk to yourself changes everything. Yeah. Why not target those specific parts and be grateful and tell them you love them? Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Anything else we want to say?
I can think of. Just be kind to yourself.
Yeah, love yourselves. Love your changing body. Wherever you're at, it's good.
It's also it's a practice. It's not progress, not perfection. So don't beat yourself up if you catch yourself in a negative thought pattern. Just be like, oh, okay, I found that's a new thought pattern. I've slipped again, and I come back to center. Yeah, progress, not perfection.
A 1% increase in positive goodwill towards yourself will change the trajectory over time.
It'll get easier with time too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love you, and you're beautiful, and all of your wrinkles, and I think your hands are so fabulous.
Every time I see them, and all of your everything, friend.
Thank you. I love all of your everything too. I was just like, in particular, every time I see your hands, I'm like,
you do.
I love your hands. I love hands. That's weird. It's not weird. I love hands.
Really?
Hands are really pretty.
That's cool.
They just are. Like, they show me what you've done.
Yeah.
In your life. Like, I love hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about all the things you've held and you've carried. And that for everyone. All of the things you've held and you've carried.
Oh no, that's so sweet.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Thanks.
Oh,
I love you.
I love you too. Love you, friends.
Love you, friends. Oliver loves you too.
Aww.
Sweet baby.